Hello?
Hello, Mr. Barcelo.
Yes.
This is WOP Live here in Cleveland, Tennessee.
How you doing today, live in Tennessee?
Very well, sir. I just want to ask you a couple of questions, quick questions. I hope that you win the governor's seat, and I know you've been campaigning it pretty hard. So I hope that you get that position, truly speaking. But can you tell me a little bit about the gun law that you would like to change?
The gun law?
Uh-huh.
Okay, the gun law. Okay, I went and read the Constitution many times over. In there, it says that the citizen has a right to bear arms against the government. That sort of means that if you don't like what's going on, you can go to Nashville and say, "Hey," with a gun, say, "Stop." So basically, I want everyone to have a gun.
Okay.
Even if I'm have an idea if I don't have these snoopers out there in the street with no power saying, "Hey, citizen, let me see a gun." And if they don't see one, I'm gonna fine them $10 maybe, because they can't protect themselves from the government if they don't have a gun.
Well, you know, Mr. Basil, practically everybody here has a gun. They really do have a gun or some kind of weapon in their house,
Right,
a revolver.
But you can't take it out your house without a permit or registration. And
right.
The bullets has numbers on it to trace it. I don't want any of that stuff. The Constitution doesn't say anything about registration. Don't say anything. It says you have the right to bear arms against your government. But the government has Patriot missiles. We got slingshots with stones. That's going to have numbers on it, and if we use it, we're going to be in trouble. But how can we, the people, be in charge? We're in charge of every elected seat in the country, and the politicians just borrow it temporarily. But someplace in history, we were invaded where they think they're in charge. So being that I'm the best soldier in the world, the 4th Recon Marine, and I'm victim to all the mess, I want to be an abundant for all the citizens in Tennessee to free them from slavery, free them from giving their rights to we the people back again, to allowing them to come to Nashville with their guns, and then but I want them to come with 24 people plus themselves, minimum, because 25 people nominated me, and possibly 25 people can take me out. But that's a different story. I don't want them to take me out. They're there for one reason. They have a problem with the things that I've done, so they're going to come up there to Nashville, and then I'm going to have my new foreign commission that's going to have Marines, SEALs, Green Berets, paratroopers, and Seabees. They all have the highest oath of the land to protect and defend land and sea, domestic and foreign, against all enemies. And it should be up to them to convince these 25 people that they're wrong.
Hey, Basil?
And if they're not, if they can't do that, those citizens is going to go home a winner.
Excuse me, Mr. Basil, a minute. Mr. Basil, excuse me a minute. This is my associate, FroDaddy, and he'd like to ask you a question.
Okay.
Yes, Basil, this is FroDaddy here in Cleveland, Tennessee. You've traveled a long way from the Saudi Daisy area all the way to California, where we get a hold of them. We just live 30 miles apart to begin with.
I'm in Hollywood, California right now.
Right.
I'm sitting right in the corner of Hollywood Boulevard.
Hey, this is great. Hey, I want all the power. I'll be watching on Jimmy Kimmel Live tonight, too. We'll be pulling for you.
That's good.
And I wanted to ask you one question. I remember back in Chattanooga, there was a time when you were being a patriotic U.S. citizen, and you were actually arrested for something about the flag issue down in Miller Plaza. What was that about?
Yeah, I just finished a court case where I was suing the county attorney, the sheriff, and the DA for slavery at traffic stops, asking the county court to arrest them. But I knew he was just as guilty as arrest, so I knew they were going to dismiss me. I took him up to the Supreme Court, and then I found out the court system was flying the flag wrong, and they're also flying the wrong flag. The flag they're flying is not in the U.S. flag book. But then when I come into past the DA's office, he's flying the flag that has 3 colors to it. The Old Glory, the one that Bessie Ross, Mayor, I believe. But he flies the right one. But I go walk through the doors in the courtroom. I go to a concave government where they fly a flag that I don't know, and they fly it wrong.
Well, what kind of flag are they trying to fly?
Turning the flag, I drove by and I saw this park flying the United States flag, the city flag, and the state flag equally. And then I look at the podium there. It's been flying that way for 32 years in front of the federal building, where all the federal people go in, the court system, and no one cared about that flag being superior president to the rest. So I called the cops and told them that there's a life on the line down here at Miller Park. I need you to come down here quick to help me save it. And when they got there, they said, "Where's the body?" I told them it's up there on the pole, the flag. It's a living thing. It has to suck my blood to live. It has to suck everybody's blood to live. And so they decided to. It was more important to tell me to get on the ground versus fixing the flag. But as a Marine, I told them I couldn't retreat. So they stunned me 12 times. Stun gun. The last one wasn't at a very good place. And then they took me. Then they took me to the hospital, and they said only an idiot takes stuns for the flag. I said no. I said every Marine in the United States, Army, Navy, and Air Force, we all die for the flag. So then they took me to well, you know it, the Marcus Ben thing, and kept me there for a week.
That's crazy.
And told me after a week, they told me I was acute psychotic when it comes to the flag. And I said, well, am I normal or if I'm sick? He says, if everyone believed in the Constitution and the flag like you, you'd be normal. But here's some Western and Latin and Depakote for you. I want you to take this the rest of your life.
Right. You're not still taking it, though, are you?
Well, actually, what happened, a year later, I got a campaign contribution once. I don't normally take it, but I was shocked. Like someone gave me $35,000 cashier's check. So I went to try to cash it, and they cashed it, but they only gave me $5,000 and come back next week for the rest. And when I came back for the rest, he says the check was no good. So I told him I already spent the $5,000, and he called the cops and got me for theft over $1,000. So I was standing in front of the judge and the DA, who I just took to court, up to the Supreme Court for slavery, and he said to the judge, well, first the judge says to the DA, you got the wrong person arrested. And then the DA said, I don't know, but just put Basil Marceaux in Marcus Ben and see if he can stand trial. And they did. And when they put me over there under the law 30, which means I'm supposed to go over there and get evaluated. So when I got there, the first thing they did was pump that Depakote into me. And I walked around like a mental retard. And then 2 weeks, my wife came over to visit, and she said to the doc, hey, you're giving him too much, man. He can't even think, can't even walk, can't even drool at my mouth. And next thing I know, I was in a coma at Erlanger for 7 days, almost dead.
Oh, man.
And not one person cared. Not the court system, not the media, or the hospital.
Well, I think I've just about had as much as I could stand. I'm just overwhelmed. It's too heart-touching. I don't think I can handle it anymore.
I want to be governor, and I'm going to have... I have a list here, a list. It's probably too long to get into right now. And when I get this list, I'm going to check one off at a time where my commission and my people is we're going to fix history. And tomorrow, you have more freedom and liberty than you ever thought of than you have today.
But we need to vote for you.
Well, you can vote for anybody you want. But I can guarantee you one thing, if they win, you're going to have 140 more years of exactly what you had in the last 140. So I want you to tell everybody in your neighborhood that they didn't know about me when they early voted to go back to the polls. Tell them they want to pull their vote out and re-vote and have them vote for me. It never happened before in history.
Well, can you go back and pull your ballot out and get and vote again?
I have no idea. It never happened before, but the vote don't count to Thursday. So if they go back, if enough people go back, they can't stop you, can they?
That's logical. It makes sense to me.
Yeah. So I want to quote it. I want you to quote me saying it, and then who knows how if the media, I mean, if the election process wasn't working, I said earlier, it's sort of like the election process, I think, is corrupt.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mr. Basil, I'd like to say I admire you because what you have been put through and what you try to express to the people, I really take it under consideration. You're really one of the kind, and I wish you well on the being the governor.